What's going on, everybody? David Feldman-Makrias back with you again, and I'm happy today. Why am I happy? Well, I'm happy most days, but I'm extra happy today. And the reason being is because a client that actually was with us for quite a while and then left because, grass is greener syndrome, went to another agency, is actually coming back after 90 days. I'm very happy about that because I know that we did a really good job for them in terms of their social media growth and in terms of their social media brand. And I'm excited to do more. And oftentimes I see this happen where we just think the grass is greener, but you don't always get what you pay for either. Even people that undercut you on price and different types of service, sometimes getting a cheaper version is not always better. Anyways, one of the things that I've done over the past 90 days is I remember going in and trying to save the account for us. Unfortunately, it didn't work. I remember going in the last so many weeks, probably 4 or 5 times over the last 90 days, going into the store and developing more value and really diving into the analytics and showcasing why our results that we drove were just more superior than what they were getting now. So that's what I want to get into. And I want to make this video for you guys to show, okay, how do you really assess what someone is doing and whatever your consultant, your marketing, your agency, what are quick ways that you can view what they're doing and what actually makes sense and what doesn't. So one of my go-to reports on that is, of course, the user acquisition report in Google Analytics 4, because that's going to tell us not only where the traffic is coming from, but also the quality of that traffic and what the engagement of that traffic is. So a big thing for this store is their new package with the agency that they went with. They included TikTok. And TikTok, I've always been a little bit skeptical of TikTok, especially in the car dealership market, because it's very organic heavy, and I just don't see the user base interacting with ads as much. But I'm always willing to accept and try and test all things and view results. But here's one of the things I brought up to him. As an example, June 1st through 30th was the last month, and April 1st through 30th was actually when we ran ads for this store. So we have to keep in play. I'm going to look at social media traffic, particularly from Facebook, and then I'm also going to dive into TikTok to see if what this other agency really did made the difference. And knowing that they're most likely going to come back by August 1st, they really didn't make the difference. So let me show you what I'm talking about. If I scroll down, I'm going to type in the search bar. Again, user acquisition. That's a great report to look at. I'm looking at first user source medium instead of our default channel group. And I have a decent amount of data where I can compare apples to apples statistics. The last month versus a month that we ran, right? So now in here, I'm going to type in Facebook. And that's going to filter out all the Facebook traffic so we can take a look at the Facebook apples to apples comparison. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. Everything looks red, which is not good, right? We're going to start from left to right. So I'm looking at all Facebook traffic, and that's why this actual agency, I think, just promised way more that they could deliver. And you could tell the marketing component is not their expertise, because their pitch was they were going to drive more users to the website and generate more traffic and activity. So when we look at that, they didn't. When they compare the latest month, June 1st through the 30th versus April, we actually had 60% less new users to the website. So that's not good, right? We drove less traffic. So that's one big thing that they're under promising on. And when we look at the engaged sessions, the engagement rate, the engaged sessions per user, all standard metrics in Google Analytics 4, we see that the results are just decreased, right? Even when we look at something like average engagement time, which directly correlates to bounce rate, right? It's the most similar metric from Universal Analytics, but average engagement time is a little bit different. That's just how long, not how long they're spending on site, but they're looking at how long people are engaging for. They're scrolling, moving things, clicking buttons, going to new pages, and their engagement time went down too. Usually, if I see one go down, maybe we're getting more quality of traffic, but we're not in this instance. So that tells me right off the bat that this agency that took it over is full of crap because they sold the dealer a bill of goods that really didn't match the expectations. So that's one thing that we've been looking at and going through, especially on my visits back. Another thing, like I mentioned, TikTok, right? So I'm actually, going to look up TikTok in here. Again, actually, before I do that, there's two things you can get from Facebook that are pretty meaningful. It's measurable traffic to the website, which we're looking at now and seeing is worse, and leads. And we actually know for a fact, because I asked them this question recently, the company now that we're going to take over back from is generating less leads. So not only did they generate less website activity, they generated less leads for the actual store. Sometimes when you pay less, you don't always, you get what you pay for, right? Doesn't always mean that you should pay more for everything, but it means that you should pay enough, right? We intuitively know that if we went to the grocery store and a gallon of milk was selling for 50 cents, it's like, I'm not in the 1950s anymore. We should probably make sure that expiration date is good. Rather, if it's $3, $4, $5, okay, that's within our range of what we think is fair based on the market. Same thing goes and applies to services as well. But this is just one way that you can look at and audit your current services to make sure you're getting the right marketing. Okay, so TikTok. Let's look at TikTok, right? I'm going to hit enter, and now I'm filtering all of the TikTok sources. TikTok, social, Edmunds TikTok, which really isn't, it doesn't really have anything to do with this other agency, what have you. But let's look at it apples to apples. New users, we have 508 users versus 212 new users to the website. It's not a lot, but I mean, it is an increase. I'll give them that. They did run ads and they did get more traffic. And they should, because we weren't really advertising on TikTok previously. We did not feel we had the right type of ad or the right type of materials to actually advertise on TikTok. And we just felt like it was a more effective use of budget to go after Facebook and Instagram. Now, don't be fooled by new users and all this green, because again, you can just spot check and look at the average engagement time and see, oh, wait a minute, 3 seconds. That means the people that we're bringing from TikTok on average are just engaging with us for 3 seconds. Our engagement rate is 31.5%. And that means that out of 100 people that come to the site from TikTok, only about 30 of them or 32 of them actually engage, but they don't really engage for long because it's 3 seconds only. So that right away shows that, oh my gosh, this isn't an effective use of advertising. There's very limited amount of key events happening, just one. So this tells me that the ROI of TikTok really isn't there for the store. So with that, I wanted to look at their page. And my thought was actually confirmed, because this agency, not us, was running ads on TikTok, but they did not build any organic presence on this client's TikTok page at all. Here's their TikTok page. They have no following, 2 followers, 5 likes, want the best deal, we got you. How generic and bland is that? So just looking at a couple of these metrics and then just looking at the actual page to see what type of insight and what type of value we're providing their customers, there really isn't any. Now, when we actually compare and go to the Instagram for this account, unfortunately I have to blur a lot out here for privacy purposes, but when we go here, this is the Instagram page that we created. They have meaningful follower counts, which you can't quite see. We have highlights up here. We have recent posts. We have customer interactions. We have offers. We have videos. We have fun gotcha stuff with salespeople with a championship title. We have Carfax. We have different things. We have holiday greetings. We have all this different stuff that looks like a way more robust way more robust Instagram page. So, moral of the story is if you want to know exactly how to review your agencies or your marketing person or how things are actually going, one thing I would do is come to Google Analytics. If they say they're generating activity to your website, come to the user acquisition report, give yourself a good date range, I'd say at minimum a couple weeks to usually a month, because dealership sales cycles are a month, and I use it for other businesses as well. But come to that, set a meaningful date range, do a meaningful comparison, and then look at the results and see what you're getting. Again, don't be baffled by an increase in new users when the average engagement time is really, really low. Those are things that are paramount, that we do all the time for our stores and our clients, not just car dealers, but other local businesses and national e-commerce brands. And we're excited to do it because we believe in the marketing that makes the difference and utilizing common digital marketing actions in unique ways. So, thank you guys so much. Hopefully, this was insightful. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to drill down any further, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thanks.